Time we talked to you, I think it was after either the first or second game, and now you're coming off, back-to-back 20-point games. How have you kind of adjusted to the physicality of the college game and all that?
I'm just continuing to practice every day, and just make the most out of every opportunity I get to step on the floor. And so I just think that repetition, just countless repetition has really prepared me to just keep going, keep getting better and better.
You guys, you had a 14-point lead and kind of got tight there in the second half, but you guys had a bunch of clutch plays from different players. How were you guys able to kind of gut this one out down the stretch?
Well, I mean, it was the same test that we had last game, and this time we knew that we had the answers to it and we were going to execute. So, I'm proud of everyone that stepped up. Everyone that played played a great game, and I'm just happy to be on this team.
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, you guys looked a lot better rebounding today, especially on the offensive glass. What was kind of the mindset in order to get those extra possessions for your guys' team?
Really just throwing the first punch and attacking them first, not letting them hit us first.
Ben Steele, go ahead.
Justin made some big plays too for you guys. How have you guys, you two freshmen, kind of complement each other? And, when you guys are on the court together at the same time, with Theo out, how do your games kind of mesh together?
I think we complement each other real nice, just being able to both put it on the floor, shoot it, just create off the dribble. It's really fun to play with him. And we saw today that we both stepped up, as well as Theo. I mean, it's definitely a blessing to be able to play with both of those guys.
Yeah, what have you learned from Theo, being a senior and you guys being a freshman? He's been around. What has he taught you guys?
He just, continues to instill toughness and grit in both of us. And, we see him every day pushing practice, and it's just fun going up against him.
Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, this one's kind of a little bit unrelated to the game, but I know that Villanova game got postponed due to the COVID protocols. In a season like this where each day you kind of have to expect the unexpected, how do you guys kind of stay mentally fit in order to come out each day and look ready to play?
Oh, that's a good question. I would say for everyone, just staying in the present, not worrying about the future and not thinking about the past too much, just staying on the present and just keeping tunnel vision.
Ben Steele, you'll have the last question for Dawson.
After the loss to UConn, Kobe was in here and saying that, that loss was on him. He's got to step up his leadership, step up the defensively. You saw him guard, David Duke tonight. He's guarded a lot of good players this season. Did you guys kind of feed off of him and, especially defensively, because you guys seemed more engaged on the defensive end today?
No, yeah, Kobe's competitiveness and will to win is second to none. And it's definitely a pleasure playing alongside him because he brings a lot of energy and intensity and competitiveness to our group.
What did it mean for you to see like a whole bunch of players have clutch plays down the stretch? Jamal at the 3, DJ at the 3-point play, Dawson was grabbing offensive boards, Theo had the block. Just it seemed like a whole bunch of players made big plays down the stretch.
Yeah, it was a team win. And, I thought our guys really responded from our preparation and came really ready to play against a very good Providence team. And as I've said on multiple occasions this year, when you get up in games, teams are going to make a run. And certainly Providence did, fueled by Watson. He really did a good job of getting deep post position. But our guys got off the mat and we responded. And just a week ago, we didn't. And so that's progress. And we need to keep building off of, those lessons.
Nick, if you want to go ahead.
Yeah, what were some of the focal points for you guys in order to keep that lead and make sure that it didn't slip away like it did last week?
Well, number one, we wanted to, no matter what was going on the offensive end, we wanted to keep our defensive intensity. And I thought for the most part, we played a good defensive game, and I think we forced them into tough shots. I thought we did an outstanding job on Duke. As I mentioned, Watson got going there a little bit against us in the second half, and that allowed them to close the gap. But we maintained our defensive intensity for the 40 minutes. And then on the offensive end, it's really important to take care of the ball. And Providence is a team that mixes up their defense quite a bit, and they're very good at turning defense into offense. And I thought our ball security, didn't hurt our defense, and that was good. And I thought our shot quality was good. We missed some good shots, but I thought we got high quality shots. So overall, I thought we put together 40 minutes, and that's something we've been asking our team to do because we've had spurts throughout games where we played well for 20 minutes, 28 minutes, 32 minutes, but we haven't put together 40-minute games as consistently as we've wanted to. And I thought tonight we did.
Ben, we'll go back to you.
Back-to-back 20-point games for Dawson. I mean, we all knew he was good and talented coming in, but how have you seen him kind of adjust to the college game, over this last dozen games or so?
Yeah, I love Dawson. And the thing I love about him is he comes to work every day. He plays his tail off. He wants to learn. He's hungry to get better, and he's a very good competitor. And so I think you see him in a period of growth right now with his game. He was sensational tonight. Obviously, his points were big, but the 2 offensive rebounds he got late in the game, those are game-winning plays, and that's not something you necessarily draw up on a whiteboard. It's something where he made winning plays, and he was terrific.
The other talented freshman, Justin, had some big plays too. I know he struggled a little bit recently, but how good was it for you to see him kind of get going and hitting his shot and keep grabbing rebounds like he usually does?
It was great. Justin and I had conversations during our preparation. He's a guy that when we are at our best, he usually has a big hand in it. And tonight was another example of that. He hit a little bit of a rough patch, and oftentimes freshmen do. But he was great tonight, and our team benefited from his outstanding play.
How do you balance playing those guys, together, especially like down the stretch? Because, you got Theo, what he brings all the time. But how do you balance playing those 3 guys down the stretch?
It's a good problem to have. I thought tonight Watson is a lot to handle, and Theo's has familiarity with him, and that doesn't just because you're familiar with somebody doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have success against an outstanding player like he is. But we wanted to keep our biggest body on their biggest body, and I thought Theo's defense after Watson kind of gave them a shot in the arm in the second half was huge for us. And obviously Dawson's playing so well, it's really hard to take him out of the game. But make no mistake about it, that 3-headed monster is when they're all playing well is very good. And Justin certainly had a huge hand in this win.
I know Theo's knee looked like it was bothering him a little bit. Is it just something he's just going to have to play throughout the whole season?
Yes, unfortunately it is. And, he's not 100%, but, Theo gives you 100% even when he's not 100%. And so we're just going to have to manage it as best we can. And I don't anticipate him being back to 100% this year, but he's just got to continue to do what he's doing. Is giving us, what he's capable of.
John Fanta, go ahead.
Steve, can you reflect a little bit further? You talked about, these freshmen, the duo of Lewis and Garcia, another first-year player in your program in DJ Carden. Just that dynamic of you're coming off, it's not an excuse, it's an explanation of an unprecedented offseason, and guys being strung not only into your program, but different roles, just that process of learning how to win and the types of winning plays they made in this game that's a result of that gradual progress?
Well, the adjustment for those three guys being new to the program, and Justin and Dawson's case, new to college basketball, if we weren't in a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic, it's a challenge. But, you know, not having an off season, having disruptions early in the season with early season preparation, they've had to learn through the fire, and they've done some incredible things. I mean, DJ's drives in the second half were huge. Obviously, the three-point play was a huge play, but he got in the paint and created good things, both for himself and for our team. And the reality is he set some guys up with open shots we just didn't make, but he was terrific. And, you know, those three guys, we're asking a lot of all three of them. And, you know, we have great belief in them that they can deliver. But, you know, there's a learning curve, and it doesn't mean that every day is going to be, you know, easy. There's going to be some hard days attached to it, but I think all three of them are getting better, and that's what you want.
On the broadcast tonight, Stephen Bardo said on one of DJ Carden's drives and scores, he said, that's a Euro step through three. It was through three continents. He said, that's the kind of unique Euro step it is. Can you speak to that maneuverability and kind of how unique it is from that standpoint? Because he was delivering that tonight.
Yeah, DJ, as I said earlier, DJ had an incredible game for us. His ability to get into the paint and find ways to knife to the basket is very unique. I mean, he's got good size. He's got tremendous athleticism, and being left-handed around the rim, I think, helps him as well. And he was huge for us throughout the game, but especially in the second half.
Finally, any reaction to that Justin Lewis slam?
Well, it was great to see. You know, as I mentioned to these guys earlier, when our team plays well and is at our best, Justin generally has a big hand in that. And tonight was another example of it. And, you know, I believe in Justin, and we need him to be as good as he can be right now. And he certainly had a big hand in this win tonight.
Thanks.
Nick, this will be the last question if you have one.
Sounds good. Yeah, I know you kind of touch upon this, how these times are unprecedented. I know on the broadcast, they said you guys get tested every day and you're kind of waiting to see if it's positive. How do you and your coaching staff kind of keep these guys in the right mental headspace in a season where every day there's a lot of uncertainty?
Well, it's a daily challenge. You know, and it's a big thing. It's not a little thing. And again, we're not the only team going through it, but the uncertainty that we're all living in and how different it is from normal operating procedures, you know, make it a daily challenge to keep guys present and doing what we're able to do today, because tomorrow is not promised. And so if I was to tell you that that's easy every day, it would be a lie. But I think our guys have done a really good job of trying to embrace the things that we've asked them to embrace in terms of being safe and being mindful and, you know, having a good attitude each and every day.